This class. What did we discuss in the previous class?
We have discussed about encoding, sir,
Yes.
and speaking criteria. Then, what are the things we have to follow while speaking?
Yes.
Then, how must we have an idea, like ideation process? How content is important, how presentation is important, how vocabulary, pitch, stress, intonation, all these affect our speaking skills. And about ornamental conversations, sir.
Yes.
Communications.
Yes. So, today, let me discuss some more points or some more ideas in speaking skill. So, speaking skill. We speak more than we write. Generally, we speak more than we write. We speak in different tones with different people. Our speaking may take the form of oral presentation, issuing of instructions, or addressing a gathering. Okay, try to understand this point. Generally, it is we know well that we speak more than we write. We speak in different tones with the different people. Okay, we speak in different tones with the different people. So, of course, based on our mood or based on our purpose, we may need to use different tones. Our speaking may take the form of oral presentation, issuing of instructions, or addressing a gathering. Okay, so already I told you, under speaking skill, we will have many skills. Okay, negotiation skill, presentation skill, conversation skill, persuasive skill, mentoring skill, motivating skill. These are all the skills, maybe the part of the speaking skill. Okay, that's why the speaking may take the form of oral presentation, issuing of instructions, okay, giving comments to the other people, that is also, or dictating, we can say dictating, okay, or dictation. Okay, from the schooling, we are very familiar with the dictation. Okay, though in the schooling, early years of the schooling, we might have given some words as a dictation and we have to write them. Okay, we had to write them on paper or on slate. Okay, so even the issue of instruction is also the part of speaking skill right now, the part of speaking skill. And another one, addressing a gathering. We can say this is a mass communication, or this is a speech, we can say speech. Okay, we may need to give speech. Okay, so that's why speaking may take this may take the form of oral presentation, issuing of instructions, or addressing a gathering, right? So the ways of speaking are different with the people of different age groups and their educational, social, and professional status. Okay, it is very clear. It is very clear that we do not speak like our friend to the principal or to the headmaster or to any other official. We do not speak as a friend. Okay, in case of friend, if you want to speak something to your friend, then you do not treat him as an officer. Though he is MRO or a CA or a police officer or IS, even IPS, okay, you do not think that he is an officer. If he is your friend, you must speak to him as a friend. Okay, so the ways of speaking are different with the people of different age groups, their educational, social, and professional status. Professional status. Okay, now speaking process. Speaking process. Speaking is a combination of verbal and non-verbal means. Okay, speaking is a combination of verbal and non-verbal means. Okay, means in the sense here tools. Okay, in speaking we may have the tools of verbal and non-verbal communication. The tools of verbal and non-verbal communication. Okay, already I told you. Okay, while speaking something, our non-verbal clues or non-verbal indicators may give more information than our speech, right? That's why speaking is a combination of verbal and non-verbal means. Okay, now let us discuss the ingredients of the speech process. Okay, ingredients of the speech process, or we can say the elements of speaking skill, the elements of speaking process, we can say. Okay, in this speaking process, we have the elements like message, audience. See, message, audience, and the speech style, feedback, and the conversation and oral skills. Conversation and oral skills, right? So the first one, message.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, you are too fast, sir.
Too fast? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We are writing the notes here, sir. That's the reason. Sorry, sir.
Okay. I will go.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So the first ingredient, that is message. Ingredients or elements, whatever it may be. Okay. Try to be familiar with the different words. Okay, in the examination, they may ask either ingredients or elements. Okay, so the first ingredient is message. Okay, we convey a message to our audience through our speech. Okay, through our speech, we may convey our message to the audience. What is message? Properly organized and executed information. Properly organized and executed information in our ideation process. Okay, this message may be sent to the audience through our speech. Okay, here physiological. Okay, you should know physiological. Okay, or psychophysical. That may be the part. Okay, we convey a message to our audience through our speech. To make the message clear and loud, the speaker should use the workable combination of verbal and non-verbal expression. Workable combination of verbal and non-verbal expression. Okay, when we want to make our message clear and loud, okay, then as a speaker, we should plan or we should use the workable combination of verbal and non-verbal expressions so that both may convey the comprehensive message to the audience or message to the listener, right? Now, the speaker must be very clear in transmitting the message. Speaker must be very clear in transmitting the message through his speech to the audience or listener. Okay, so ideation process, transmission process, and interpretation process. Three processes we will find at 3 different levels in communication process. So speaker must be very clear in transmitting the message. Okay, through the channel. Okay, we may transmit this message to the audience. Okay, to do that, we have to make our speech very clear and very clear to the audience. We have to check whether our voice is or our speech is very clear to the audience or not. We have to check it. And better in this message, better to avoid confusing words. Okay, confusing words should be avoided while speaking. Confusing words should be avoided while speaking. We should check. Okay, we should check that there are no confusing words in our speech. There are no confusing words in our speech. That is the important. Okay, this is about message. Okay, when you compose a message, okay, in your ideation process, in your mind, at the ideation level in your mind, when you compose a message, that is a careful and proper organization and execution of information. Okay, that should be very clear and loud and comprehensive to the audience, and we must be very clear in transmitting that message through the speech to the audience, right? This is message. Another one, another ingredient. Okay, that is audience. Another element or ingredient, that is audience, right? So that may be a single audience, that is a speaker, maybe a listener, right? So maybe one listener or more listeners, right? So audience is the important element of the speech process. Audience is the important element of the speech process, right? So speech is meant for the audience. Very plain truth. Very plain truth. Speech is meant for the audience. Okay, all the time the speech is meant for the audience. If the audience are unable to understand your speech, there is no use of delivering a speech or of conversing something to the listener, right? That's why here you should understand that speech is meant for the audience and play a great role in determining the material to be used and the approach to be adopted. Okay, having some idea about audience is important. Okay, assessment of audience or estimation of audience is an important factor here. That estimation may play important role. That estimation may play important role, right? So that's why the factors mentioned below should be taken into consideration while preparing speech for the audience. Okay, while preparing speech for the audience or while preparing to converse with the other people, okay, of course, most of the times the conversations may be the conversations may involve speech, extemporaneous speech. That means on the spot we should be able to speak. Okay, without preparation on the spot we should be able to speak, or we should be able to convey the information. Of course, for that we need to have some content in our mind. Okay, and the efficient language or proficiency in your speech. Okay, so while preparing for speech, okay, the following factors to be minded. Okay, so one is the nature of the purpose of audience. The nature of the purpose of audience, or we can say, what is the purpose of audience that gathered to listen your speech? Okay, what they expect from you. Okay, then another one, number of people. Okay, or we can say the size of the audience. The size of the audience. How many number of audience gathered? You know one thing, some speakers they do not speak if the people are 3 or 4. Okay, those speakers may be excellent in speaking to the people, in speaking to the audience. If the audience size is 1,000 and 2,000 and 3,000, but it is not the proper way. Even the listener is one, only one listener is available, still the speaker should be able to speak. The speaker should be able to speak. That is the important thing, right? So, number of people, we should assess. Okay, the size of the audience may also play or may act as a factor to influence this audience or to influence the speech. And another one, age and sex of the audience. Age and sex of the audience. See whether the male or female. Okay, generally it is believed that male can't be convinced easily, but female can be convinced easily. That's why most of the serials may convince easily the female rather than male, right? That's why here, whatever it may be, even the size, the sex of the audience is also important, and age of the audience. Age and sex of the audience is important factor. And the next one, educational qualification of the audience. Educational qualification of the audience. Okay, if among 500 audience, if 100 people are illiterate, then whom do you teach? Whom do you convey? To the educated people of 400 or uneducated of 100? Whom do you speak? Whom do you convey? Okay, if you consider educated people, that information can't be reached to the or it may not reach to this uneducated audience. Okay, that's why the club of this educated and uneducated, okay, or moderate educated may influence the speaking skill, right? So educational qualification of audience is also important information, important factor to influence the speech. And another one, interest and expectation from speaker. Interest and expectation from speaker. What do the audience expect from the speaker? That is important. What do the audience expect from the speaker? That is important, right? So even the interest of the audience also may play important role while speaking. Okay, generally for functions, okay, in seminars or in any other programs, if you are asked to propose a vote of thanks, you may seriously prepare to propose a vote of thanks, you know. But at that end of the program, maybe people are busy to go away. Okay, maybe they are in mood to go. They are in mood to go away from that seminar hall, from that meeting hall. Okay, even maybe at the end, the speakers and the guests, other people may be busy to that means to get ready to go out. In that situation, you may feel bored or you may feel disappointed. Then you can't speak properly. Okay, that's why even the interest of the listener and the expectations of the listener from the speaker, those also play important role. Okay, the next one, socio-cultural background of audience. Okay, we should consider the socio-cultural background of audience. Okay, based on the socio-cultural background of the audience, we should plan our speech. Okay, so another one, mental and physical state of mind. Okay, mental and physical state of mind. Okay, how your mental condition of mind, okay, how you feel. Okay, boredom, or tiredness or lack of interest, whatever it may be. Okay, at the speaker level as well as at the listener's level. Okay, the listener may be bored or maybe tired, maybe a lack of interest. These are all the things which may influence speaking skill, right? So,
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
yeah,
For a listener, education is important, right, sir? If he is like illiterate, we cannot talk to him. But if he is literate, we can speak to him. But how does socio-cultural background influence, sir?
okay. Socio-cultural background, how it influence. Okay, yeah,
Yes,
see,
sir.
uh, that's how the formal meetings from informal meeting may be distinguished. Okay, some people see high social status. The people from high social status, they may not like to sit with other people who may be low, who may have low profile or a low status, social status. Okay, in that situation, they may feel discomfort to listen to the speaker. Okay, that is one way. That is one way. Okay, see, sometimes the speaker may be excellent speaker or eminent speaker, or he may be from a good social status. Okay, a family of good social status. Then all the time he may expect the audience to be okay from the same social status, from the same social status. Of course, not all the cases, or not all the speakers may be like that. But sometimes this factor, this socio-cultural background also influence our speaking skill, because of the based on the audience. Actually, it is speaking that is not an independent process, you know. Speaking is not independent process. When the listener is ready to listen to you, then only the speaking process may be continued. Okay, if you ask anyone how are you, if they do not answer anything, what can you extend? What can you speak? What can you ask? Okay, that's
Yes,
why.
sir.
That's
Understood,
why.
sir.
Even this is a mutual. Actually, speaking and listening, these two are mutual. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Even the cultural background. See, if when we are, as we are educated people, if anyone who is not cultured, who is not educated well, proper, who have no proper education, who have no proper communication, if they come and speak, try to speak something, we try to avoid them. Okay, we may not have willingness to speak to them. This may be a ratio. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah. Another one, knowledge of language. Knowledge of language. Okay. When you speak something, okay, the same amount of knowledge should this listener possess, or should this listener have. Okay, if you use extraordinary vocabulary, the same vocabulary should reach to the audience, or else we should understand the level of the audience, and then we should use the vocabulary which may be his level. Okay, selection of vocabulary is also play important role, and the selection of this language, the skill of language. Okay, if you studied, suppose you studied in Oxford University and you came back to India. Okay, if you try to speak in that slang, then the people here around you may not be able to understand your accent. Okay, then only one thing can be done. You have to come down to their level, or they have to they have to come up to your level. But it is not easy for them to come up to your level. then you have to come down to their level. Okay, that is the point here. Okay, another.
Sir, this knowledge of language, is it ingredient or does
Yeah.
it come under audience?
Come under audience. Come under audience.
Yes, sir.
Even
Yes,
the
sir.
language capability of the audience. Okay, even what is the language they do, they know, how far they are good in that particular language. Okay, generally in our seminars, okay, some people or as a students you may expect to speak in Telugu, but the speaker may speak in English. Okay, then half of the students, surely I can tell you, half of the students, they can't understand anything. They remain, they may sit like anything, and they spend time in their seminar hall. You know, that's maybe the ratio. Okay, while speaking something, we should know, we should be able to understand what is the knowledge of the language. What is the knowledge of the language this listener has, or this audience have, right? So this is also another point, right? So we discussed speech in this speech process. In this speech process, we discussed ingredients of speech. Okay, ingredients of speech process. Two ingredients we have discussed. One is message, another one audience. Right now, one is message, another one audience. Okay, let me discuss the third one. Okay, yeah, totally we have 5. Okay, as we have only 6 minutes, let me finish this third ingredient, that is speech style, right? See, speech style distinguishes a speaker from one speaker to another speaker. Okay, every speaker may have, every speaker may have their own speech style. Then you should know what is the speech style. You see, speech is a pattern of speaking adopted by a speaker. Style is a pattern of speaking. Style is a pattern of speaking adopted by a speaker. Okay, you see, have you heard the speech of, have you heard the speech, or have you heard the words of, who is that, Sidhu, the cricketer, Sidhu, what is his full name? Navjot Singh Sidhu. Navjot Singh Sidhu. Okay, he worked as MP also. Okay, he was the former cricketer in Indian cricket team. Okay, his speech style is different. Okay, if you observe Manju Lakshmi's speech, her language is different. Her style is different. Okay, so you see, the way they deliver the words, the way they deliver their sentences, that will matter. Okay, so try to understand more clear what is the style. Style is arranging proper words in proper places. Style is arranging proper words in proper places. See, I'm trying to make it more specific to make you understand what is style. Style is arranging proper words, okay, in proper places. Okay, according to Lord Chesterfield, the style is the dress of thought. Okay, he defined the style as the dress of thought. Okay, better note down this point. The dress is style of thought, right? See, the way and patterns of conveying information is style. The way and patterns of conveying information is style. In which way we are conveying information, that is the style. Okay, the way we convey the information is our style. Okay, or the arrangement of proper words in proper places is our style. The pattern of speaking adopted by us is our style. Okay, the speech style varies from one person to another person depending upon the choice of words. Okay, So we can find clearly that the style is in choice of words. The style is in choice of words and the facial expressions. Okay, and the postures and gestures and the kind of audience, right? In all these things, okay, we may find the style depending on all these points. Okay, that may be the choice of words, the facial expressions, the postures and gestures, and the kind of audience. Based on all these things, we may have our own unique style of speech, our own unique style of speech, right? This is a speech style. This is speech style, right? So, students, today we have discussed the speech process. Okay, speaking skill. In the speaking skill, we have discussed it. Yeah, our speaking may take the form of oral presentation, issuing of instructions, or addressing a gathering. I'm mentioning this point again because this is important. Okay, see, at the beginning I mentioned, now I am recapping this point. Our speaking may take the form of oral presentation, issuing of instructions, or addressing a gathering. Okay, the speaking may be in the form of these. Okay, that is oral presentation, instructions, dictations, okay, or negotiations, interviews. In all these skills or in all these activities, okay, skillful activities, we can find the speaking skill. We can find the speaking skill. Okay, speaking is a combination. Remember, speaking is a combination of verbal and non-verbal means. Okay, so we discussed ingredients. Okay, I mentioned message is one ingredient, audience, okay, speech style, feedback, conversation, and oral skills. We shall discuss the two things in next class, feedback and conversation and oral skills in the next class, because time is up. It is going to be closed now. Okay. So students, have a great day. Okay, bye to everyone.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
Bye. Okay. I will try to, I will try to subscribe for this Zoom so that we can take enough time. Until then, be patient for 45 minutes class.